Good morning and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. I'm Brian Moritz. Today I get the honor to walk you around a 2022 Antero Adventure Van Longs Peak model. So this is the newest model that we have. A couple really cool updates that I'll show you along the way. We'll start by walking around the exterior and then we'll head inside and look at what's going on in there. So first things that you're going to see, we've got it built on the Mercedes Sprinter chassis, 144-inch wheelbase, 233 inches long overall. So nice and small, easy to get in and out of places that you need to. So as we come back here, I'm actually just going to open this up now. We've got the Carefree Awning over here on the passenger side or your patio side. So if you're out camping, you can sit in some shade while you do it. So this is a power extend, power retract awning, and it also has the wind sensor built into it. So if while it's out, it starts bouncing around a little too much, it'll just go ahead and retract itself. Another cool feature of this awning is we can stop it wherever we want to. So let's just say we had a tree right here, but we still wanted a little bit of shade. The tree wasn't giving us enough shade. We could put it out to there, get that shade. Or if it's open, we can keep extending it to its full opening length. Also on this awning, we've got a nice LED light strip on the bottom side of it, just to give you some extra light while you're out camping nighttime, that kind of stuff. The other thing we did is we put the light bar right above the entry door there. So that's going to give us additional lighting for night camping if we're out here enjoying the night. So with that automatic wind retract, this awning, just like that, if I bounce it just a little bit, it'll go ahead and retract itself. That way you don't have to worry about it ripping itself off in a big windstorm. Not a system that I recommend relying on, but it's always a good backup. So back here towards the back, we've got the Zamp power port. So what you can do here is buy one of the Zamp exterior solar panels. They come in 100-watt panels, and you just plug it in right here. They usually come with about a 25-foot cord, but you can get longer ones. So you can set your solar panel out 25 feet away from the van and get additional charging power on your batteries. Now also on the roof of this van, we've got 180 watts of solar to keep your batteries charged up. That will charge your batteries in about 16 hours from empty. In the rear of the van, we've got the nice screen package. So this has a couple different ways you can set it up. This is total blackout. We can go inside, or we can open it up here and have it as an open air. And then we can also set it as a true screen if we open it from the inside. Now to put this away, if you don't want to fight with it, just stand on your little hitch step here. Just keep pulling it tight as you roll. You don't want to pull too tight on it. And then 2 snaps up at the top, and it's now up and out of your way. So on the exterior of the van here, we've got the 2-inch receiver. That's going to have a 5,000-pound towing capacity. Now every van that we send out is going to have the Go Rhino step here, and it's a lot easier to stand on the step and roll this up than try and stand on the hitch. But if you're pulling a trailer or something, you know, you're obviously not going to have the step. Big thing is 5,000-pound towing capacity. It does have a 7-pin connector here for your trailer brakes and trailer lights if you need it. Okay. Back in the back, over here on the passenger side, we've got 2 110-volt outlets, as well as 2 USB ports for power on the outside. And then more importantly, over on the driver's side, the left side, we've got the exterior exterior water. So we've got hot and cold water on the exterior shower. Now we've got switches up here. So the second one in is going to be our water pump. So we can turn on the water pump and take a shower outside. So in 2022, we did add hot water to these vans, and I'm going to go over that a little more in detail in just a little bit when I show you how to turn it on. Nice little place for the shower sprayer to stay. Now the other switches here, we have the under bed lights. So let's just say you were coming home, got back from a late bike ride or something, and you open up these back doors. There's a switch right here that's gonna turn on these under bed lights so you can see what's going on inside. The next switch is going to be the rear scene lights, which is very important because it's the same light bar that's on the patio side, which is just gonna light up the back of the van. So if we're out here working on our bikes or something, we have some light to do it. And then the last, and in my opinion, most important switch is going to be the Arb Air Compressor. So every Antero van Longs Peak model will come with the Arb Air Compressor. So what we have is a small, or just a little quick connect for the hose. And then right here is the switch to turn the compressor on. So what's cool about this hose is you can use it to fill up bike tires, paddle boards, anything you need to, but they also give you enough hose that if you wanted to air up your tires, you could reach all 4 tires. So let's just say you were camping on a beach somewhere and wanted to air down your tires to get a little more displacement on that sand. You can air them down and then confidently be able to air them back up without having to go find a compressor. And then when you're done, quick disconnect, and away it goes. Good little storage here in the back where you can keep that. That's also where the compressor actually sits. And then also every Antero van is going to come with the power adapter to change from 110 to 30 amp, which is what the van takes. So coming around on the driver's side, just a couple things to look at. We've got the little locking door right here. This is where we're going to either fill our freshwater tank or hook up to city connection. So we've got a gravity fill. All we're going to do is take our water hose, shove it down in there. You just want to use potable water, and it'll fill your 18-gallon freshwater tank, or hook it up right there and we'll just have pressured water in the motorhome without using a water pump. Now the next thing you want to look at on the driver's side is going to be your gray tank dump. So just a little cap here. It's a nice tight cap today. So pop it off. You just get a standard 3-inch RV hose, put it on there, and then this is just going to be water from your sink. There is no black tank, it's just going to be soapy water. Just pull that valve and it'll dump. And then a little bit farther forward, we've got the connection for our power. So the only time you would really need this is if you want to run the air conditioning on the roof, or if you just want to charge up your batteries and make sure they're nice and full prior to leaving on your trip. And all it is a twist lock. So slide your power cord in, twist it, and then this screws on just to keep it secure. And then on this side, it's just a normal 110 volt power cord. Just get a nice extension cord, run it from the house, and you can plug in your van. Oh, coming around over here, so these we do upgrade the tires from the standard that Mercedes ships with. So we put the BF Goodwrench KO2s on there with 17-inch black Rhino wheels, just a nicer looking set of wheel tires. That KO2 is a good all-terrain tire. It's actually become one of the most popular all-terrain tires out there at this point. And then before we head inside, I want to point out that we also put a really big LED light bar up across the front of the van, just so if you're driving down, let's say, a dirt, muddy, forest road, you get a little more light than what your headlights are gonna provide. Oh, all right. So now we can head inside. Now, I showed you the screen on the back. This screen is the cooler one, in my opinion. So this is the roll left screen. So what's cool about this is it zips up and down just like the back one does, but over here on the right side, it's got a magnet so that it's closed and you don't have to zip and unzip it every time you want to get in the van. Now, if you don't want your screens down, to unzip them, again, pull this tight as you roll. We did upgrade the running boards as well so that you have a place to stand while you're rolling up these screens. And then again, 2 snaps to keep them secured. Okay, so something I want to talk about is going to be the smart floor system that we put in the Antero vans. So this smart floor system gives us some versatility of different things we can put on it. So right now I have a chair there. There's different mounts, fork post mounts, just standard tie down mounts, all sorts of things that you can put on there. So this is a chair that we sell here at Transwest and at Antero vans. All it takes, if we wanted to remove this and get it out of our way, is 2 quick release handles. Pull it out, and then it's not in your way at all. You still have full access to your van. Now, putting it back in is the same thing, just in reverse. Just get it lined up on the track here. And then your 2 quick lock handles, just push them forward and it's locked into place. Now this is a new generation of seat, so we changed it up just a little bit. So now this seat can actually move forward or recline, but most importantly it can fold flat so that we can store it underneath the bed, which I'll show you in just a minute. But with this this is how I prefer to configure the seats, for just a couple reasons. One, the person sitting in this seat isn't so far away from the driver passenger that they can't be a part of the conversation. And 2, we can still open the refrigerator up and get into it if we needed to. All right, I'm gonna get this out of the way really quick. Okay, so right inside the door, we've got a couple different control panels, control panels. So this bottom one here is going to be for our awning. That's a Carefree awning. So we have a master power switch and then a retract and extend switch, an emergency fire extinguisher, the awning lights, the passenger scene lights, which is the lights, that light bar up above, and then another switch for your under bed lights, so you never have to get in this thing in the dark. We do throw in a first aid kit as well, just velcros to the wall. And this is all standard on this van. So things like gauze, tape, band-aids, scissors, tongue depressors, all sorts of, there's a thermometer in here. So, and then a thermal blanket, emergency fire starter, things like that. All in this first aid kit that will come with every Antero van. As we come inside here, let's actually start at the back. So something I'd like about this seat is if, let's just say we're done traveling for the day, no one's gonna be sitting in the seat and we're just kind of lounging in here, we can kind of tuck it over to the back corner, and then we're still able to put our bed down, which I'll show you in just a second. Now this little box back here, this is gonna be a portable toilet. So just a small Thetford porta potty. Kind of emergency situation, backup plan. But when it's closed up, it just looks like a nice ottoman, somewhere to sit on while you're just hanging out in your van. I also like to just slide this back along that wall. Now the cool thing about this, or just setting it up like this, is we can still fold this bed down and it's out of the way. Now this side of the bed is also going to double as your table, or if you're working in here, your desk space. You can just get some nice little stools or something to put in here to sit on while you're in here working. And then when it's time to sleep, safety strap. When it's time to sleep, quick release lever, kind of push this one out of the way. And then you just have to push the cushions down just a little bit to make sure they're laying flat. Now, underneath the bed, we still have a ton of storage, even with that potty box, as well as the chair down below. So you could easily lay a bike or something down in there and keep it inside and secured while you're traveling or while you're sleeping, so it's not outside. So being that we did put a lot of storage underneath the bed, we figured for some of the shorter people we might need a way to get in. So there's a little step over here on the right side, just push off of it and you can climb right in. Now, at 6 feet tall, I can lay on this bed no problem. I'll even lay straight. You know, when you put some pillows and stuff in here, it's not going to feel this cramped. If you have power available, you've got the air conditioning right above you so you can have cool air blowing on you, especially on the summer days. And then when you're done sleeping for the night, just push it up. It locks into place there. And then we do have just an additional safety latch on the back side of it. Same thing for the driver's side. Now, under this bed, all these little cabinets and stuff, they're not going to be storage. They're actually access to bed mechanism. So it's got a cantilever mount. Each one of these sides of the bed has a 300-pound capacity. So we need to be able to access the mechanism just in case anything ever failed. Down below, we've got our 2 lithium-ion batteries, as well as our Red Arc solar controller. And then in this bay or compartment, we've got our 2,000-watt Xantrex inverter. Just forward to that, all of our circuit breakers and fuses for the house. So this is going to have things like your microwave, your refrigerator, your air conditioning, all in a nice, easy to access place. You don't have to go outside to get to anything. Keeping with the bed area, right over here to the side, a couple things going on. One, we've got a nice reading light. It's just a push on, push off. So we can do this a couple different ways. So if I hit it once, it's on dim, and each time I tap it, it gets brighter. I can tap it 3 times and then it goes to red, which is kind of like your night light. There's a USB connection on there, so you could use it to charge your phone as well. And then here we've got 2 110 volt outlets, 2 12 volt USBs, a 12 volt receptacle, and then 2 more USBs. And then this is the control for our RGB lighting. So just kind of a nice scene light kind of thing. If you tap it twice and then rotate it, it'll actually change the color of that light. So here in the center is where we're going to get most of our storage. So we've got a nice pantry here. Notice these shelves are adjustable up and down as needed. We can also add more shelves if you wish. Down below we've got the extra deep drawer. Great for things like cutting boards, maybe a pot or pans. Little storage here for like a spice rack kind of thing. We throw in the silverware. We can actually pull those out. That was a bad place to grab it. Throw in a little silverware tray as well. More drawer. And then one more drawer. We've got an isotherm 4.6 cubic foot refrigerator. Now this is a purely electric refrigerator. There is no propane on this coach whatsoever. And then up above, we've got the countertop with the 1-burner induction cooktop. So we just need magnetic pans to make that work. Over here, we've got the 10-inch deep sink. So little wash basin. Down below, nice big deep sink for doing dishes. Now the cover for that sink is a cutting board, just to give you a little flexibility so you don't have to carry your own cutting board while you're traveling. And then this does have a sprayer nozzle and everything, and you'll get hot and cold water out of that faucet as well. Over to the left side of that, we've got a magnetic wall. So if you get some magnetic accessories, you can just pop them on there. Things like sponges, you know, scrubbers for dishes, that kind of stuff would be perfect. Just get a little magnetic holder for them. And then last but not least, going back to storage, up above the sink, just a really nice big deep cabinet. Pots, pans, glasses, cups, plates, bowls, that kind of stuff. And then a 700-watt microwave. Now this microwave can be ran off a battery and the inverter. And then your last little storage area is going to be up top, where just above the cab, just a nice little shelf. Right now we've got the screen package to black out this coach, but you can kind of make it flexible and use it for whatever you need. So here in the center of the coach is going to be our main control panel. So up at the top, we've got a Kenwood Bluetooth receiver. Those are going to be for a separate system than your house or than your chassis radio. So there are actually 2 speakers in the rear doors, and this is going to connect directly to those. So if you're sitting outside having a good time, you can play some music and have it outdoors. This controls right here is going to be for our heater, our furnace system. So we can scroll through, set it to the temperature we want it to be at. It goes from 55 to 99. And then we can also set that to how long we want it to run, or set it to infinity. But that's just so that you have the option that it turns off after a predetermined set amount of time, so it doesn't drain your batteries. Down below, we've got the sea level 2 tank monitoring system, which will tell us our battery power, our fresh tank level, and our gray tank level. Now that is a percentage, so the gray tank right now is 11% full. Down below that, we've got just some switches. This one right here is going to be master off, so I hit that and everything goes dead. The only time you want to use that is if you're putting it in extended storage and don't want your batteries to drain. These 3 are all going to be your ceiling lights. And then this switch is the newest switch, which is going to be the hot water heater. So going back to this hot water heater, it's a 2.5 gallon tank, okay? It'll put out 2.5 gallons at 105 degrees Fahrenheit. To turn it on, all you're going to do is press and hold it for just a few seconds, and boom, now that light comes on. So that light is going to stay on for 30 minutes. We can't turn it off unless we hit the master disconnect switch, but it's going to heat the water in that 2.5 gallon tank, and then once this light goes off, you know you're at max warm. Now if it was cold, it would take about 15 minutes for you to get hot water, but you're not going to get the full 2.5 gallons of it. So if you let it go through its max heat cycle, they actually advertise that you'll get about 4 minutes of hot water, or 4 gallons of hot water. Even though it's a 2.5 gallon tank, it is a quick recovery tank. So as long as it's on, you'll get about 4 gallons out of it. Plenty for a quick shower before you take off. Now down below that is just going to be the control for our Xantrax 2000 watt inverter. So just a quick on and off switch. That's just going to convert the 12 volt power from the batteries to 110 volt power, so you can use your outlets and things like that. So coming up towards the cab area, it's important to note that both your driver and passenger seat are swivel seats. So just a quick moving forward. I'm getting hung up on. There we go. So it's always a good idea just to check underneath and make sure that nothing's getting caught. But all it is, you move the seat forward just a little bit. The lever to release it's right here, and then it just turns around. Now it does lock into place back here, so while you're sitting in the seat, you don't have to worry about it turning or spinning on you. But nice little lounge area. We can do it with the driver's seat as well. But if we want to have, you know, a game of cards or something, we could set up a little table right here and use the rear chair as well, and have a nice place to play cards or do whatever we need to. So just so you guys can see how this works again, move the seat forward just a little bit. Now I like to do it from the outside. It's absolutely possible from the inside, just makes it a little bit tougher. And then it's locked into place and you're ready to travel again. So I want to show this little toolkit from Antero Vans. So this is just a small toolkit, emergency things that you might need. So you've got your lug nut, socket, little ratchet to retract your awning, a screwdriver just in case. Now, this right here is one of my favorite things about the Antero Vans. So this is just your owner's manual essentially. Instead of like the other manufacturers where you get a full bag of manuals, Antero Van broke it down by system. So let's just say, so let's just say we want to see how to work that Kenwood Bluetooth audio unit. We go to page 35. And this is pretty much a step-by-step instruction on how to connect your phone to that Bluetooth unit. Now there's also different sections in here, how to winterize, how to de-winterize, what to do if your batteries die. All of that stuff is right here in this little thing. It doesn't take up a lot of space like a big bag of manuals does, which is a great feature in a van. So I'm gonna go around to the driver's side. Show you some things on this Mercedes-Benz chassis. Now this is a 4-wheel drive chassis. So we do have the 4-wheel drive switch down below here, as well as hill descent control and rollback assist. So when we turn this on, it feels like a Mercedes, like a chassis feels very nice. This was actually a big improvement over the 2019 chassis. They redesigned everything, made it feel a little bit nicer, gave you some additional cup holders. You used to just have one here and one in the door, and now you've got the 4 down below. Over on my left side, power windows, both auto windows. So just push it down all the way, it'll automatically go down, or pull it up, it'll close. Power mirror control, and then power folding mirrors. Now, sticking with those mirrors, we do have blind spot monitoring in both of them. So there's a little triangle that lights up. It'll be red if you have a car in your blind spot. Over here on the steering wheel, it's a tilt and telescoping steering wheel. So just a lever down below, up, down, in, out. Furthermore, on that steering wheel, we've got the controls for the dash, so we can see things like our odometer, scroll through it, service, so that's going to tell us if we need an oil change or something. And then your assistances. So each one of these vans is equipped with active braking assistance as well as lane keeping assistance. So if you start to drift to either side and crossing lanes, it'll give you an alert. And then we can also see the blind spot assistance there. On the right side, this is going to be all of our controls for our radio. So I can scroll through on my 7-inch screen and look at the different things on the screen. This radio is capable of Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto. So I kind of like this little screen while I'm driving. Let's see. So if I go to the engine side of the info screen, it's going to tell me my water temperature, my oil pressure, all that stuff, but also tell me how much horsepower I'm making, how much torque I'm making, my battery voltage, just kind of something fun to watch as we're driving down the road. Now, we can also click the little camera button down here in the middle, and it'll pull up the rear view camera. So let's just say we're towing a trailer, want to just check and make sure our dirt bikes are still strapped down. Push the camera button and it'll show us that. Now, if we put this RV in reverse, we get the grid lines. If I turn the wheel, it does adjust them to show me where I'm going while backing up. Volume control, navigation screen right there. So that's a good navigation screen. Now, one thing I want to point out about this radio is it's actually a nice touchscreen. It feels more like a phone touchscreen than a radio touchscreen. You know, some touchscreens are still really hard, like 2004 phones where you had to like really push to move it, but this, you know, just a very light pressure and it moves as you want it to. And then down below, we've just got our standard HVAC controls. So now the last thing I want to talk about, going back to the Antero Adventure van, is going to be the battery merge switch right here. If our chassis batteries ever died, the chassis batteries are the batteries that start the engine. If they ever died, we could hold this switch and it'll actually pull power off of our 2 lithium batteries in the back to get this engine started and get us out of wherever we are. And then the last switch up top is going to be for the light bar on the front of the van that we can use if we're, you know, not on the highway, off an unimproved road or something, for some additional lighting. Oh, and I think that's pretty much going to wrap up my walkthrough of this 2022 Antero Longs Peak model. So if you have any questions, you can call me anytime. Again, I am Brian Moritz with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. My phone number is 303-482-6375, or you can shoot me an email at brian.moritz@transwest.com. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.